everybody. We're a day late, but we're not $1 short. It's Tuesday. We're not on Monday. We're Tuesday. I know we normally do a Monday show, but we're here, and that's what matters today. All right? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yo. Hope you guys are doing well. I guess your Monday went all right. We got a lot to discuss, man. We got a lot to go over here. It's kind of a jam-packed Monday show, even though it's on a Tuesday on the 6th, February 6th, man. We're already, the days they're racking up, bro. We're getting through February. I don't know. January felt like it went on a little too long, and then now February, we're already getting into the first week. We're coming up on the end of the first week of February. So maybe February will go by a little bit faster. Don't forget, we got Valentine's Day, huh? You boyfriends and husbands out there, and the 2 or 3 women folk that watch this show. Women are not well represented in the audience for this show, by the way. People always ask, like, what's the differences between the sexes? I don't know. Apparently, not enough women care about sports. You ever been to a women's basketball game? You got the players on the floor, and then you have the fans in the crowd. Who makes up the majority of the fans? It's guys. It's mostly guys. I haven't been to a women's basketball game in a minute. What's up, y'all? What's up? Travis, what's going on, man? Philip, sir, how are you doing? If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to fire away in the comment section. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the retweets on Twitter, by the way. And, yeah. So, we're going to go over recruiting. We got some interesting information on a former Razorback in the NFL, an update on him, possibly. And, of course, Razorback basketball had some excitement go down. Guys don't want their women exposed to your animal magnetism. Tell that to my wife. Don't know how much I'm going to be able to watch, but hey, I appreciate you, John. Yeah. Again, like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. They operate out of Central Arkansas and, of course, Northwest Arkansas. They offer same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, hundreds of 5-star reviews. They'll come out and give you a free estimate. All you got to do is call them up, and they'll be there. They'll get you a free estimate. 501-244-3667. Again, that's Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. And, of course, the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria located on Emma Street in Springdale. Great pies, great IPAs on tap, wonderful staff, great environment. Nothing like an Odd Soul pie, or if you want to just sit down, drink an IPA, they've got you, man. If you're in town, Arkansas's back home on Saturday to take on Georgia, so maybe you're coming up. I'm sure, again, like we've talked about, the tickets are probably going to be pretty cheap. Maybe you're going to stay the night. And I would recommend checking out the Odd Soul if you're hungry. You can take the family. You can do whatever. Just be you. Maybe you're a loner. That's all right. The other mic just took care of that. What? Oh, you're talking about, okay, my bad. The flower. Okay. Yeah. All right. I see what you're saying. Talking about Valentine's. Look at you. Man, you're ahead of the game. The other Mike, who's a legendary status member, by the way. That's me. I'm the loner. Hey, man, I've gone to some games by myself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a loner, going to the stadium, watching some games. What's up, Woo Pig 00? All right. Well, let's, by the way, the title says Devo Davis returns again, plus there's that dreaded plus sign that indicates the other topic of the show, just for the few people who were a little late on that. That's okay. I don't judge anybody. We're also going to just, again, Razorbacks recruiting updates. And again, there's a lot. All right. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Bobby Petrino, last week, I'm a little bit behind on this. It started out as a small rumor. I don't typically report on small rumors, and then it made its way onto some other message boards. But Bobby Petrino, it's not a big deal. It's not like a big secret. Like, oh my gosh, what is it? It's nothing groundbreaking. Again, I'm a little late to it. But Bobby Petrino visited Greenwood quarterback Kane Archer last week, or went to Greenwood to go visit and watch Kane Archer throw. This probably shouldn't shock anybody, considering Bobby Petrino's knows for great arm talent, and Kane has been rumored to be the next big-time quarterback in the state of Arkansas, and there's been several over the years, right? And maybe no one was ever as hyped up as Mitch Mustaine was. And I think Kane Archer's hype meter is catching up to Mitch's. Now, Mitch, of course, played at Springdale, the infamous Springdale 5. I watched them play several times. Probably the most high school football that I watched was when Mitch and those guys were all here. Andrew Norman, Damian Williams, Ben Cleveland. What a bunch. It's still the best team, not just offense, team I've ever seen on the field. And Mitch was the guy, right? He was the 5-star. He was a top 2, top 3 quarterback out of high school in the entire country. So this guy, Kane Archer, is close to that level of hype. You know, I know I don't want to get into the whole Greenwood and Fayetteville and Springdale dynamic there, and, you know, the bigger school and who gets a little bit more representation on the bigger levels of high school football in the state of Arkansas. But again, I think Kane certainly seems like he's someone who could. He's probably going to have 4, maybe 5 stars by the time he's done in high school here in the state of Arkansas. Of course, we know he was offered by Arkansas in January of 2022. He was recruited by Dan Enos. Okay, we could leave it at that. But yeah, so who knows? Kane Archer's a 2026 kid. He's right now listed at 6'1", just under 210 pounds. Again, part of the 2026 class. He has offers already from, I don't even know. I think right now 247 reports that he has 16 offers, which includes Arizona, Arkansas, Florida State. Trying to pull up his whole list here. It's you name them, they've offered him. Louisville, Michigan, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and old Odom at UNLV has also offered. That might be a pre-existing offer. I don't know. This kid, he started racking up offers pretty early in his football career. So, yeah. It's going to be exciting. I hope to get an opportunity to go watch him. I have talked to people who have seen him play in person, and they're just kind of blown away, talking about him looking like a senior out there. He doesn't look as young, or he doesn't play as young as he really is. So I'm hoping I get an opportunity to go watch him play before he leaves. Ty don't judge, but I do. Enough for the both of us. What? I've actually done it. Ole Miss 2010. I've not gone to many games on my own, to be honest. I think I've only been to maybe. Well, I don't know if you count going as like a. When I go as a media member and I get to sit up in the box, does that count? I don't think that should count. As like just a fan going to games, which is, by the way, a very funner experience, because you're not there to work, you're just there to watch the game. I don't know that I've ever been to a game on my own. Maybe 2 or 3. I think I went to a baseball game. I know I went to a baseball game on my own. Maybe 1 football game. I don't know. I always go with friends or my dad when I used to go to games. FQ Arkansas throwing chairs. Oh no, he's owned up to it. I give FQ credit. He almost he kind of compliments what I do. He kind of compliments me. Oh, I think Ty does a good job. I've said this before. Okay. Didn't like the one show where I was reporting on gossip, and that's not at all what it was. I love how he keeps using that term, gossip. Anyone who watched that show, it wasn't gossip. He claims he watched the show, and I think that he did. I just don't know why he keeps calling it gossip. It's not what it was, bro. It wasn't gossip, homie. All right, moving on. Arkansas offers three new offers. Now, again, this was kind of late last week. We're a little bit behind on some of this stuff. 2025 Keaton Jones, who's a 6'4", 315-pound two-way player on the line of scrimmage, interior offensive line and interior defensive line, 3-star. He's got offers from Arkansas, Auburn, Penn State. No idea how many of them are committable. I know Arkansas definitely is committable. They're very interested in Keaton Jones. He's a 2025, class of 2025. Class of 2026, Quinn Murphy. 2026, and he's a quarterback. We just got done talking about another kid out of that class. He's currently unranked, as is most in the 26 class. Offers currently Arkansas, Baylor, and Louisville. And then the 2027, the third offer that I know of at the moment, Peyton Miller, 6'5", 280-pounder, interior offensive lineman, obviously unranked. Arkansas, no, not Auburn. Nebraska, Penn State, and Arkansas are his current offers. That's pretty impressive. A kid that's part of the – he's still a little ways out. He's still very early in his recruiting process, and he's already getting a lot of attention. So, again, that's the class of 25, Keaton Jones, who's I think – don't hold me to this. I think Keaton Jones is being recruited. If he's a part of the 25 class, I would guess interior defense or offensive line. I think that offers probably to play O-line. I don't know. But he's, again, 2025, 3-star. 26 is Quinn Murphy, quarterback. And then 27 is Peyton Miller. So, yeah. Keaton Jones, by the way, I guess I could tell you where they're from. He's from it's Kansas, right? Yeah, Coffeyville. Field Kinley High School. Quinn Murphy is out of Argyle, Texas, plays at Liberty Christian, and Peyton Miller's out of Anna, Texas. Anna, Texas, I heard Chuck talking about this on the radio the other day. Apparently that's a region or an area that Arkansas used to recruit really heavily out of back in the Hatfield days. That was an area that Arkansas could just walk in and walk out with some really good players. So, yeah. I think you mentioned Fred Talley was from that part. Maybe it was another area of Texas. But I thought he was talking about Anna, Texas. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Where's Fred Talley from? Hold on, let's Google that. Fred Talley. Oh, that's not the picture I want to pull up there. He's from well, they've got him out of Longview, Texas. But did he play high school at Longview? Yep, Longview, Texas. So maybe it wasn't Anna. I don't know. John Hodge, you're from Texas. That's your neck of the woods. How close are the two? How close is Longview to Anna? You guys remember Fred Talley? Boy, he was dynamic. Fred Talley, all 5'8" of him, dude was like a ping pong ball. It was incredible watching him run the ball. It was a solid SEC back. He was solid. He was a good player, good little running back. I kind of thought he might, even back then, young and stupid, I thought, he's going to be great in the NFL. He's going to do great. But, yeah, he's Talley's rushing yardage against Auburn is the third highest in school history, behind Darren McFadden and Dickie Morton. In the 2002 season finale, Talley rushed for 118 yards, touchdown against LSU. Yeah, he was great, man. He was great. He was a great player. Fun to watch. Longview about 2.5 hours from Anna. Oh, okay. Well, all right. That's a little bit of a drive. I'd love to see an elite Arkansas kid come play for us. Yeah, the Mitch Mustang, every time we do the comparison thing, last time I did this, someone DM'd me and said I shouldn't do that because Mitch was a flop. What I'm saying is, first off, I think Mitch was kind of a victim of just, the guys in charge just mishandled that entire situation. The adults in the room mishandled that whole thing. And that's still, when you talk about the Springdale 5 and Gus Malzahn and everything, I know that's a touchy subject, but especially for the OGs, the OG Hog fans who've been around for a minute, that's a touchy one. That's one when you bring it up, it's like, I don't know. You could feel the tension in the room a little bit. But, yeah, what I'm saying is that Mitch hype level. I mean, you guys, they were on national television. Like, the hype was through the roof for Mitch Mustain. The highest, still to this day, the highest recruit Arkansas has ever produced, I think, no matter the position. So I don't think Archer's there yet. Could he be? I don't know. If he goes to some camps, lights the world on fire, which he's going to a camp, by the way. I just shared that in Patreon chat in our Discord. He's going to a camp. If I could find it here really quick. He's going to a – well, was that Patreon I shared that? I thought it was Patreon. Did I share it in the wrong damn room? Where did I put that damn link? He's going somewhere. Well, anyways, he's going to a camp. That's going to drive me crazy. But hang on. Oh, I know what I did. I scrolled way too far up. Yeah, okay. Kane Archer's going to I guess it's some kind of Under Armour camp in Dallas on March 10th. So we'll get some more highlight content. So congrats to Kane Archer. More to come, I'm sure. More to come. I mean, again, he's I don't know that he's near that Mitch Mustain level, right? But he's, in terms of hype and excitement, could he be better? I don't know. Similar in size. Mitch is a junior or sophomore at Springdale. I think was listed at 6'1", 6'2", if I remember right. Well, that's when recruiting. I was really into it, y'all. I was checking the message boards. That was a big deal back then. That's back when high school football recruiting, for Arkansas was just exciting. You may not had like these top 10, top 5 classes, but you've never done that at Arkansas. But it was exciting because you were getting these guys like Damian Williams and Mitch, and you got all those guys to commit. And, of course, you had Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, Peyton Hillis in the years before that. Transfer name to keep an eye on, Branson Hickman. He entered the portal last week. Matios apparently has made contact. 6'3", 295 pounds. He's a former center, was a second-team All-AAC selection. Then the portal, we know it opens back up April. It's April, I better not guess. Or maybe I'll try. 15th? It's somewhere in the middle of April is when that portal window opens up. I know I've got it here somewhere on one of my pages. 16th. I was close. April 16th is when the portal window opens up. So, yeah, keep an eye on him. Again, that's Branson Hickman. I've already got his PFF stuff and all the information you need. Some extra little details on him. This would be a really nice get. This is a guy who you would, if you could land, if you got him here. Now, I think he's made mention of some other schools, some other P5 schools that have already offered him. So Branson Hickman's going to be someone to keep an eye on. So we've got him tagged on the portal page. So we'll try to keep up with that. But that would be a very nice get. Played a lot of snaps. I think I have it noted that he only gave up, was it 1 sack all year or no sacks? He did something kind of crazy if we looked at that right. Let me pull it up. Yeah, no sacks given up, at least according to PFF last year. And he played a whole bunch of snaps. So, again, keep an eye on Branson Hickman. Arkansas gained a commitment. Marklin, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Marklin, he's got 2 names in one. Mark Kalen or Marklin. So it could be Mark and Kalen. Marklin. Could be Mark Kalen. I don't know. Batten. 6 foot, 174 pounds. I'm ready for people to come at me on that one. 6 foot, 174 pound, 3-star athlete, committed on the 3rd. Plays a little bit of everything. Well, he plays primarily running back, and he played in the secondary last year. He rushed 80 times for 610 yards, 9 touchdowns. He caught 16 passes for just over 250 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air. On defense, he had 17 tackles, 2 pass breakups, and 1 pick. Jimmy Smith is his primary recruiter. So, again, that's I think it's Markalin. That makes more sense. Markalin Batten. Even though it's spelled like Markalin. Anybody ever play World of Warcraft? Those little, what were those things called? That made they always hung around the ponds. I know there's some fellow nerds in chat. And they would go, blah, 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 blah. That's what I think of when I say Markalin. Those things used to crack me up. I know we got some WoW players. They know who I'm talking about. They were called, begins with an M, right? Murgles or something? I don't know. Morlocks. Murlocs. Was that what they were called? They would go, blah, 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 blah. They would run all goofy with their yeah, good times. We have fun here. All right, we have fun here on Toast Talk with Ty. That's what we do. We have fun. Oh, boy. All right, Murlocs. That was it, right? Mitch was a victim of the hype machine malfunctioning. It could be that, but I think it was really the adults in the room that let him down. I think the adults in the room let Mitch down, and that whole situation was, and then he goes to USC, and nothing really pans out for him. So, I don't know why. I don't know, but they need to make up. I don't know, but they need to make more of him and send him our way. Who are you talking about, Philip? If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to fire away. I don't know if my little emoji screen's disappeared on the bottom right. That's interesting. I can't even see the emojis anymore. Huh. Yeah, the Mitch topic is one that's it's always fascinating. Of course, you could always go watch the documentary that was made a little while back. All right. What else we got? Frank Ragnow. I don't know if you guys have heard this about Frank. Very interesting article. It was written by, I think it was one of the SI. I know it's SI. They will take literally anybody to come write for them. But not that they're all bad, but there's been some. SI's hurting. There's no doubt. SI is desperate and they're hurting these days. But there was an article that was posted, I think this was earlier today, by All Lions Fans Nation. And they're talking about the possibility. And they go on to mention his, let me tell you the title. The title is Odds Frank Ragnow Retires. Could Frank Ragnow have played his last down of football? Throughout the 2023 season, the Detroit Lions increasingly became known for their grit, a trait that helped the team win the NFC North and advance to the NFC Championship game this past season. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Perhaps no Lions player embodied it more for a sustained period of time than center Frank Ragnow. The Pro Bowl lineman has played through injury after injury since being drafted by the organization in the first round in 2018. He was the number 20 overall pick. Most notably, he's battled a lingering turf toe since 2021, an ailment that limited him to just 4 games that season, yet he's managed to suit up for nearly a full season's worth of games the past 2 seasons. He played in 16 games in 22 and 15 games in 23 while racking up Pro Bowl honors in both campaigns and a second-team All-Pro Bowl selection this year. And most recently, he played in all 72 offensive snaps in Detroit's NFC Championship game, lost to the Niners a week after he sprained his knee and ankle in the Lions' divisional round playoff win over the Bucs. So what was said, Frank Ragnow is quoted as saying, talking about it, the injuries kind of racking up on him, and he says it takes a toll on you, Ragnow said while cleaning out his locker in Allen Park. It really takes a toll on you, so I need to find a way to get back to Frank, and I don't regret any of this at all, but it weighs on you, and I'm just going to take some time to really figure everything out to make sure that I'm feeling good, not only for me, the football player, but for me, the best husband and best father, and everything with that as well. He's a good guy. Frank, how can you not love Frank Ragnow? you guys kept saying I was bitter because I kept picking against the Lions. I wasn't bitter at all about the Lions beating the Rams at all. Was I that night? Oh, you bet your ass. Some of you were there. I had not a meltdown, but damn close to it. I was pissed, and I was in a bad mood. But also, the fan part of me then put all that aside, and watching the Lions, I just wasn't that impressed. But the one thing that did stand out about the Lions, they did play with grit. They kind of reminded you a little bit of like a typical 90s football team, just tough, gritty. They want to win along the line of scrimmage. That's kind of how you feel like that team's built from the inside out, just that classic kind of, I don't know. They just had a feel to them, and of course that comes from the head coach all the way down to his players, and Frank did embody that, and he does. He's also had a bunch of injuries, but I did like that about the Lions, but they just Goff, he struggles when there's pressure, and I'm happy they made it. I'm happy for the former Razorbacks, for Skipper and Ragnow to have made it all the way to the NFC Championship, but the Niners were just clearly the better team. Unfortunately, that means these guys don't get to play in the Super Bowl, although we're going to see Greenlaw get to play, and we know Brandon Allen's a backup with San Francisco, so we will still have a couple of former Razorbacks once again in another Super Bowl. But, so there's a lot of speculation out of Detroit that Frank could be out. This is from the Lions GM, Brad Holmes. I have so much respect for Ragnow, or for him. He's talking about Frank, obviously, and for everything that he goes through and fights through, that I'm just respectful for his time and his thoughts. Holmes told reporters Monday, "We're not going to pressure him to do anything or make any moves, but the communication will be diligent. It'll be thorough. It'll be respectful." So, yeah, I could see why there's a little bit of smoke about him possibly retiring. I have a hard time. I think Dan Campbell likes Ragnow. I think Dan Campbell likes Dan Skipper too, but at the end of the day, it is a business, so we'll see what happens. I don't see Frank. I have a hard time seeing him. What is Frank Ragnow? 27, 28? Man, he's got several good years left in him. But I'm not walking around in his body. I don't know the kind of pains and aches and the stuff that he's going through. I mean, he's obviously dealt with a lot of stuff injury-wise, and we've seen guys younger retire. It happens all the time. Maybe not all the time, and it might be lesser-known players or guys who maybe don't get to play like Frank does. But you do hear of these guys that are a little bit – you're hearing more about guys retiring younger, So, but again, I don't think Frank does. I think Frank's going to stick around at Detroit. It'd be nice to see Detroit go on another run, assuming, again, the Rams aren't in that position. Obviously, if they play the Rams, I'm always going to root for the Rams. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna root for former players. I'm gonna be happy if the 49ers find a way to win the Super Bowl, of course. For the former Razorbacks, I mean, I'll be happy for them. I don't want the Niners to win. I'm sorry, I don't. I cannot stand the 49ers, as you guys are very well aware of. So, but yeah. Anyways, so wish him the best no matter what he does. He is one of my favorite former Hogs. He really is. He was a terrific player here, and he's been great. When he's healthy in the league, he's one of the top interior offensive linemen in the NFL. Some would consider him at the very top. So, I love Frank. Yep. Did YouTube finally fix the emoji thing? I don't know. It's not there. I can't see. It's just a black circle. But I can click it, but I just can't see it. It might be. Maybe I can refresh my page. Not that I want them there. I don't know why I did that. Damn. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, I just had to refresh my page. Yeah, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Again, check out the links provided for you down below. We have our new Patreon list. Before we move on to our next part here, we do have our Patreon list. Shout out to our legendary status members. And we had a bunch this month. This is the $20 and up, folks. Thomas Nunley, Brian Frazier, Chris Shea, Daniel Hadley, Hunter Porter, James Swope, Jeff Ankney, J.M. Scott, John Goodman, John Haas, Mac 1855, Megan. How do you pronounce your last name, Megan? Depois. You are Canadian. Is it Depois? What part of Canada do you live in? Mike, Randall Hunt, Timothy Wiseett, and William Watkins. Those are our legendary status members. Shout out to you guys. That new list is up. You probably heard the music. I thought I'd switch it up this month, but appreciate you guys and anyone who wanted to be a Patreon supporter. We fell very well short of the 100. We had a lot of turnover this month. We did. Not even going to lie about it. We had a lot of turnover on Patreon. So if you want to help keep that thing up, maybe we can. It kind of feels like 100 might be out of the question. I don't know that we'll hit 100 anytime soon, but if you want to help get us there, it would be great. Let me get the list here. Copy. Here we go. There you go. There's the Patreon link if you guys want to join it. But again, we had it was still a good month, and I appreciate anybody who's a member of that. I really do. I mean, it helps keep this thing afloat. You know, it's nice to have sponsorship. It's nice to have a little bit of AdSense. Believe me, I got my W-2 form in. I think this was my AdSense form. I'll just say this. Thank God for Patreon. I'll just say that, okay? I don't know. They play these ads, and I think they give me like a nickel for every ad. There's only been a couple of months this year where it was like, oh, okay, sweet. They actually cut me a little piece of the pie. Admittedly, I'm a very fair-weathered NFL fan. However, to see Frank and Skip have been able to accomplish at Detroit is so commendable. Blue-collar grit, that's unbreakable, plus loads of heart. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's funny because they kind of came from that era at Arkansas where that was kind of the same thing on the offensive line. They're big. Remember how big that offensive line was with Skipper and Ragnow and those guys? You know, they came from that era, and that was a very physical blue-collar type of football. And I love blue-collar football, baby. I still do. Now, I've evolved in that arena a little bit over the last few years. I am partial to big chunk play offense, you know, the 4 and 5 wide, the spread, the high scoring offenses. Really, Bobby Petrino opened our eyes up to that back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. And it was sad to go away from that, but I do still appreciate. I guess that's the better way to say it. I do appreciate blue collar football, and that's what they did here. And those guys fit in perfectly at Detroit. So I have a really hard time seeing them leave Campbell and the Lions. Shout out to my fellow Canadian. Yeah, she's in Canada. She's been in our Discord live. We've talked to her. She seems like a real sweetheart, and she is Canadian. Born and raised there, but she's a Razorback fan, so shout out to her. And she's a legendary status member. Incredible. Ty needs more of that pie. Tercer, I couldn't agree more, my friend, and you're already a member on the on YouTube. You're a Tuss Talk community member, so I do appreciate you, man. Absolutely. All right. I like pie, too. I probably like it a little bit too much. Devo is back. Devo Davis is back once again. He has returned. Again, I know I'm late to the show on this, and if you guys, I know there's, and someone brought up a really good point. Ty, we don't care that you're late to the show a little bit sometimes. We just want your perspective. We want to hear what you think on it. So, I appreciate that. I've had a couple people tell me that over the last several weeks. I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on with Devo. From what I understand, I still don't know that we know what the hell happened last year when this happened. I hope it's, again, his welfare and that's what comes first, right? And I always make that perfectly clear. And I don't gossip. That's the dumbest thing I've ever been accused of. I never heard of that before. Of all the million plus 1.3 million total views I have on this channel, the whatever it is, 97% like to the 3% dislike this channel's had, I have never been accused of something so silly. But I always want to pay respects to the players. but I don't know. This situation is so bizarre because he was benched. We didn't see him. It was we last saw him in the first half against Ole Miss back on January 24th, which we were told was a coach's decision why he didn't play in the second half. He then was a no-show that Saturday, that game against Kentucky. We found out, I was with the Don't Read the Comments guys, and we found out on Twitter that he had stepped away. Now, the reports were that the first reports was that he was kicked off the team, which were obviously incorrect, which is, again, why you don't always trust the people that are rushing to be the first to report on stuff. But he was not kicked off the team. Obviously, he didn't quit. As far as we know, always be skeptical of everything that you hear. But, yeah, we hadn't seen him since January 24th. And, again, he no-showed for Kentucky on January 27th. And then we were told the email that was sent out by the Arkansas basketball SID was that, the words were Arkansas senior guard Devontae Davis has stepped away from the program. So, I don't know. It's like what Travis said, who's a small business owner. Man, you're no-call, no-show. And then not only that, we know there's been – well, we don't know. We know he's left the team before, so there appears to be some kind of baggage. I don't know how I feel about him being let on. I really don't. I also acknowledge I don't know the full story. Again, nobody does. If this is just him not happy about getting benched and he walked away, why is he back on the team? Why is he back? I don't understand if that's what that is. If that's what that is, Coach, I ain't having it. I ain't having it. You know what? You benched me in the second half. I'm done. Okay, well, see ya. Pack your bags, you're gone. And I've been a Devo defender. You guys know that. Some folks go after him about what he does with his fingernails and what these players do with their hair. I could honestly give two shits about that. What those guys do in their private time, that's between them and whatever. I don't care. I obviously I care about what they do on the floor, and I don't think anyone's above criticism. Now, if they're out committing crimes, and obviously we have something to say about that, right? If there's some kids acting up, we'll talk about that, and I think that's perfectly fine. But, as far as the stuff that's been, not just, the fingernail stuff was so silly. And I think that's something that people just focused way too much on. And then he leaves the team, and now they kind of feel like, well, see, we told you there's something going on. He's got something up. I mean, why would he do all these things? But they don't correlate. They're not, they have nothing. One doesn't have anything to do with the other. I have seen that argument, silly as it is, and I've seen that argument. See, you put up this laundry list of issues, and he's doing all this other stuff. Nah, he's a problem. He's a problem. He's a problem on the roster. You need to kick him. I will say again, if he simply was just unhappy and he quit the team or he left the team, I don't know why you would let someone on who has also done this before. If whatever happened there, again, I don't even know that we have the full story on why he did this the first time last season. I don't know. It's better for future recruiting purposes, says Razorback Rock. Well, I mean, now if you want to talk about what that puts out there is that you can leave this team and I'll take you right back. I don't know that that's the right thing you want to put out there. I really don't. I don't. I think at some point you have to. Again, this could be far more complicated, and it probably is. There could be a lot of stuff going on that we just don't know about. Obviously, Devo's been around for a minute. This is his fourth year. He's not having a great season. He's getting about, in 19 games played so far, he's averaging about 29 minutes. Has he played 19 games? Is that right? I guess that's right. Yeah, 19. Yeah, okay. 29 minutes. He's shooting about 36%. He's 24% outside three-point land. He's shooting right at about 24%. He's 74% at the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's averaging just 1.1 turnovers a game and 0.5 on steals, 6.3 points a game. I mean, he's having a down year. There's just no doubt about it. And I know that's got to be frustrating, but that's no reason to just be like, all right, I need some time off. I'm going to take some time off for a little bit. I'll come back whenever. It just can't work that way. I don't know. He's supposed to be on the what is it? The Buzz, right? 90. What's that station? I was just talking about that the other day. He has a segment. It's part of his NIL deal, and he's supposed to come on in the afternoon. We'll see if he. I don't know if he is this week. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if he's going to be back on this week. He may not. He's back on the team. He may take a slow approach. He does have obligations though through his NIL. I'm sure he's going to have to. He's going to have to make up for some of that. I don't know how that's going to all stretch out. Should have let Darian Ford back. He's balling out at A-State, says Jacob Botwinick. Phillips says, I never believed he was gone. Well, I mean, yeah, I didn't either at first. I mean, it's kind of been back and forth. I don't know what I thought there halfway through, and then obviously he's back. You know, there were so many people. There were a lot of people in the beginning who were reporting that he had quit, and that wasn't the truth. He hadn't quit. Is it 104.6 the Buzz? Is it 104.6 for you people down in Central Arkansas? I don't think we get the Buzz up here. Not on radio. I mean, I know you could pull it up on, YouTube or whatever. Longshank says he hasn't been on the last 2 Thursdays on 103.7. There it is. 103.7. The Buzz. Yeah, I don't know when he's going to be back. I don't know when he's going back. I don't know if it'd be nice for him to come back this Thursday and maybe clear a few things up. But at this moment in time, I don't know if it's again, because nobody really knows the situation. I don't know if it's good for the overall team health or not. Minutfield did say this is a guy I look up to, and he is a senior. It's hard for me to imagine. I know all of us could sit on the outside and say, well, he was a cancer. He was bad. We don't know that. Nobody really knows that. And I've never heard a player talk badly about Devo. As far to my knowledge, I don't know that anybody has, including former players. And you got guys that are supporting him like, hey, man, y'all need to relax a little bit on Devo. And you've had a lot of outside folks flapping their gums. And, of course, Hog fans are already kind of piling on because right now things are so bad. Well, Devo's got to be the problem. Brazil's got to be the problem. I think it's just not as simple as that. I think it's a number of things going on. I mean, of course, it's got to be a net positive when you're talking about depth. That is experience that you're bringing back to the roster. It is, I don't know that it's a net negative, but if he is a cancer or if he is a problem in the locker room, I have a hard time seeing Musselman let him back in. You know what I mean? I don't think Muss would let him back in if he truly thought he was even if he wasn't the root of the problem. I just don't think he'd let him back on. Press conference should be in order, says Woo Pig Pod. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. I mean, anytime you guys start off with I just expect some. I don't know what to expect when someone starts off the sentence with I mean, and I do it too though. I'm just as guilty. I live in the northeast part of Arkansas, and we get river water running in What? What are you talking about? I mean, I live in the northeast part of Arkansas, and we get river water running in Memphis, Jonesboro crap. Oh, what you get on the radio. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Longshank says 103.7 is always fire, even they don't know if he is coming back to talk with them. It is what it is. Come on, baseball. Yeah. No one knows, but he had a representative come on. I guess he was on the radio. Maybe you could speak to this, Longshanks. Sounds like you listen to him a lot. A representative came on, or maybe they'd spoken to someone in the media and said that he was going to eventually come back. There's just no date. That'll definitely be something worth watching. Speaking of something worth watching really quick, it's not Razorback related. Shane Gillis. I don't know if you guys keep up. I love Shane Gillis, man. He is he's a funny son of a bitch. Highly recommend you watch his skits. He has a YouTube channel called Gillian Keeves. It's great. But he's gonna go. If you don't know the whole backstory, he was fired from SNL like 4 or 5 years ago. He was fired from SNL because of some jokes that he made. Now he's bigger than ever. He's bigger than SNL could have ever made him, and they're going to bring him back on. I don't know the exact what Saturday night it is. I don't know if it was this month. I was trying to pull up that date for you. But he's going to host SNL. He's been on Joe Rogan a number of times. He's always, like, I think he's been on Theo Vaughn's pod. He's been everywhere. He is hilarious. I can't find the date. If anyone knows the date, that'd be great. I posted it in Discord. Yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm going to – if I could – I would almost do a watch party with Discord for that. A little less stepping away, a little more stepping up, says Dan Tanner. You're not wrong. Yeah, exactly. That's very well put. That's very well put. Less stepping away and more stepping up. That's what this team needs. Someone to step up. Right? Lead these guys. Why isn't it Devo? Why is this team so bad this year? That's been the $1 million question. That's been the $1 million question for a while. Why is this team so bad? We've talked about it on the post-game shows. You know, no one can figure this out. I wonder if Devo is hyperactive emotionally. I had a friend growing up who was that way. If he heard a joke, he laughed extra hard. If he was sad, he cried so hard he couldn't really control it. I don't know. And again, I don't want to come off like an asshole, you know, and I don't want to speculate on things I don't know. I'm sure there's some extra stuff going on that he's dealing with. But at some point, man, I mean, this is twice now. No matter the circumstances, this is twice now. I just my gut feeling says it's something that we don't know. And it's between him and probably Musselman, between his family, and that would be my guess. But if it certainly looks like, especially after getting benched and then no showing for Kentucky on that Saturday, and I don't know that was something that had been maybe it was already worked out between he and Musselman. I'd love it if the guy would come out. He doesn't owe fans anything. I get that, or at least I understand that argument that's being made. I'm not saying that, but I get that argument. He doesn't owe fans anything. That's fair. But, man, I would really like some transparency on some of this, though. It would be nice. It'd be nice to get a little transparency. I'm always for more transparency when it comes to the players and to the university. What baseball looking like? Well, I'm not. Yeah, we'll probably bring up baseball next week. Baseball's going to be kind of touch and go. I'm definitely going to talk more about it, though, the closer we get to it. It's around the corner. I mean, it's like it's here. It might as well just be here. Need a Netflix special. He's got Shane Gillis. If you're talking about Shane, he's got one or two, right? His YouTube special, he only uploaded it on YouTube. Oh, my God. He's talking about his dad being a Fox News dad. Dude, it's so funny. I highly, highly recommend Shane Gillis, man. If you like comedy, you can't be soft. You can't be Charmin soft, all right? You got to have a little thick skin, okay? I respectfully disagree. I think fans are owed an explanation. I mean, I get that sentiment. I do, Dave. I just, you know, sometimes I think there are things that are maybe going on personally that I don't think they have to tell everybody. And I'm not saying that's Devo's situation. I don't know. You know, I don't know. You might be right. Maybe fans are owed an explanation. Maybe they should just come out and let it all air out. I think, though, coaches probably wouldn't want that. You know, they want to keep that stuff in-house and deal with it in-house. That's kind of the way I look at it. The OnlyFans skit, Dad, was hilarious. Yeah. Or the Bob Isis, the Toyota Isis skit. There's the daycare for uncles skit. Oh my God, Shane Gillis. He's a He's got the craft, the comedy craft down. He could do it all. Sketch comedy, stand up. He's hilarious. I can't wait to watch that SNL. I haven't watched SNL in years. It's been garbage. Let's just be real. SNL's been garbage. They've got like some funny bits here and there, like some funny skits, but I can't remember the last time I've just sat and watched an entire SNL, like the whole thing from start to finish. It's been years. You know? Nowadays, they are owed an explanation since the NIL. The players are now a part of the investments fans make in the programs. The players play the players play for now, says Philip. I don't know. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I understand the argument that for the fans, hey, look, you guys are asking us to donate to NIL. You guys want us to donate to Edge or whatever. You want the local companies and local business owners and fans to donate to this. I get that. I think I agree. Like, I think now you probably do need to be a little bit more up on the transparency part. You probably do need to, let fans in on some more, a little bit. But at the same time, I understand Hunter Yurachek doesn't want to air out everything. Eric Musselman doesn't want to air out everything. You got to let that thing sit and bake in the oven for a little bit, fix it in-house. And then maybe later on, if it gets talked about, whatever. I get both sides. I do. And I agree. You guys, maybe I would ask those of you that are asking for that and not agreeing with the other side that I just laid out, the university's point. If you just disagree with all that and you agree that, well, you know what, we're giving money, I would ask, are you giving money? You're asking for it? Are you actually a part of the Edge? And if you are, then okay, that's a different argument entirely. But I think there's two sides to it. I think fans are certainly, if you're asking fans to give money, then you can't be upset when they're asking for a little more transparency. At the same time, I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. I don't care. I'm going to. At the same time, I don't know if the U of A wants to air out all of its dirty laundry, or maybe not even dirty laundry, just stuff that they need to figure out in-house first. There's always going to be fan reactions. There's always going to be, inaccurate information that's put out there. That's going to happen no matter what. Even when, there is transparency, there's still stuff, sometimes you just don't believe what you're being told. But I understand both sides. I do. But I think I agree. I don't want to take sides. Because, again, I've said from the get-go, when you are asking, I don't want to say begging, but when you're asking business owners, again, fans, mom and pop down the road, when you're asking them for money and all you're giving them in return is like a T-shirt and a bumper sticker, man, they're going to have questions, right? And especially when you look at, like, from a recruiting standpoint, that's different, right? Like, why aren't we getting the results? But wanting to know, like, further details about the inner workings of a football, basketball, or baseball program, sometimes I think it's probably best fans don't know everything. Like, let it play out first. Let them deal with it in-house. That's kind of my take on it, I guess. Here's the thing. No explanation equals rumor and speculation, which can be worse. Or, you know what? We've seen this stuff before, and we don't ever hear anything, and then it goes away. Let's sit here, Dave. Let's not sit here and act like this isn't coming from losing. Okay, we have nothing better to do, Dave, than to sit here and speculate about some bullshit we don't know about anything. Fans can always just make stuff up. That's not an excuse for the university to then air out all their laundry. That's silly. Come on, let's live in reality. Okay, this is the way it is because Arkansas is losing. That's where this is coming from. Nobody would really give a shit if Arkansas was winning and Devo's numbers weren't so great and this happened. Nobody would care. No one would care. They're making this bullshit up because there's nothing else to talk about, or because, you know what, Arkansas is bad. We can't figure out why. Oh, I know. Maybe there's this other thing going on, and then we're going to run with it. No, this is a seed that's been planted simply because things are so bad. So, I understand. If Devo wants to come out and talk about it, then that's got to be Devo. You know, that's got to be him. That's got to be up to him. I certainly hope people don't pressure him. I hope people don't come at him on social media. I hope you guys aren't tagging him. Don't do that. Leave the guy be. I would only question, why is he back on? That's my only question. Why are you letting him back on the team? And maybe you could. Later on, I would love an explanation. And again, I do side with you guys that an explanation, I hope that we get something from somebody. But at the same time, I don't know how much they actually owe fans. I don't know that they have to give you all the information that you want, you know? I mean, it doesn't have to be to the letter, but some sort of he needed time off or family emergency. Right. I don't disagree. I don't agree with that either, Ty, but that's okay. Well, Dave, I guess you and I are just going to have to agree to disagree, I guess. I don't know which part you're talking about. So true, Ty, our hands are – there's that stupid emoji. I can't read your message. So true, Ty, our hands are idle because of how awful we are. If that's what you don't disagree with, I don't recall winning seasons and fans getting distracted with this sort of stuff. I don't recall all that we talk about is winning, right? When winning is the cure-all, and it helps cure things like this, right? I think we can agree with that, Dave. I think the few of you who are going to disagree with me on this, I'm sure there's going to be more people later on that watch this later are probably going to, please let your voices be heard in the comment section. But I think we can all agree winning cures all, and winning, this sort of stuff probably wouldn't be happening. And you could also make the same argument if they were winning, maybe Devo doesn't leave the team to begin with. You know, losing has its consequences, I guess. I don't recall a key player just up and leaving 2 years in a row. Okay, fair, but I don't think that there would be – what I'm saying is there wouldn't be these made-up stories. None of this would exist if things were better, if they didn't have a losing conference record. I mean, you can. I tell you what, Dave, if you're giving money to. Yeah, OBS just kicked me off. I think it's back. It does this every show now. That's so weird. I might have to. I don't know. Travis, I'm going to have to hit you up, man. Ask you if you know what this is all about, if you're still in chat. I'm going to text you later, Travis. I don't know what that's all about. It just randomly will drop me. But anyways, like I was saying, if you have a problem with it, Dave, write an email. I don't know what else to tell you. If you feel like you're owed more, write Eric Musselman or Hunter Yurchek an email and be done with it. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I'm not a representative for the U of A. Norm Macdonald came back to SNL to open the show after. Yeah, he did. That's right. Yeah, you're right about that, Tercer. He did. Yeah, he was a writer for SNL, and then he got the Norm show. I think that was on NBC. Yeah, I remember that. And it's like Adam Sandler, who finally went back, you know. But this one, Shane got hired, and then they just fired him. He was hired, and within like a week, they let him go. I mean, Longshank says, we are owed nothing. There you go. There's two sides to that argument. I don't know how much the U of A owes fans. That's an entirely different conversation, not one I really thought I would be getting into, but I don't know if the U of A owes you what you think they owe you. But if you're giving money, write an email. Complain to them. Hey, what's going on? Tell us. You're asking us to donate money. Well, then we want more transparency from the university. We want more transparency from Hunter and from Eric and Sam, Dave. All right. before OBS decides to kick me off again, I'm going to go ahead and we'll put this one to an end. We're at the hour 02 mark. Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out to all the Patreon supporters and, of course, the sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, and the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria. My schedule this week, I'm trying to take it a little bit light. I'm going to take it a little light this week. I'm still I've got another sick kid in the house. Now the younger sister's sick, so we got that going on. She's missed the last 2 days of school. So, and we've got some other stuff. My goal is to get some edited content out, hopefully sometime this week. It'd be nice if I get something out Wednesday. I do plan on, at the moment, going live on Friday just to kind of get prepared for what's going to happen on Saturday. And, of course, we'll get caught up on everything, that's happened throughout the week on Friday. So, one way or another, this isn't the last time you'll see me this week. And, of course, as always, I'll be here for the postgame show as well on Saturday. It's weird not having a game this week, but in some ways, it kind of feels like a blessing in disguise. I think Hog fans are kind of tired of seeing a losing product on the floor. So, all right, here's the new name list. If you missed it at the beginning, this is the updated Patreon name list. I appreciate all you guys that are a part of that. So here you go. You guys, until I see you, probably unless there's breaking news, I'll see you on Friday. Enjoy.